So hello and welcome to this Adobe Animate tutorial, and I'm going to show you how you can generate a random number in Adobe Animate using JavaScript, and later on I will show you how you can work with that random number with some kind of shapes. So for example, I created something very simple that right now I am in the console, and if I'm going to refresh this, it is going to generate me some kind of random number, and then it is going to change this object, but this is number 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, so that's why it's affecting this one. If I would refresh this one more time, it would the number 0 is this one, and so on. And I also make this clickable, so right now if I click on this one, it will disappear and the others are not going to disappear. So yeah, basically this is what we are going to be doing today. So for now we are in the Adobe Animate, and I will go with 800 by 800, you can choose any number, and I want this to be HTML5 canvas, and I will just hit create. Now I'm not going to do any graphics for now, we are going to just have a blank space, and I will go directly to the code. So in here in the layer 1, you can rename the layer if you want, but I'm going to just right click and I'm going to choose actions. Now, before we will write the code, I can go in here. There is this website. Let me close these ads very quickly. They are going to appear one more time. Okay, so I'm going to provide the link in the description so you can take a look. And in here you have math.random, and in here you have returns a random number. And then you have this math.floor, which is going to put your, if you are going to have 5.6, for example, it's going to make you the number to be 5. If you are going to have 7 point something, it's going to make it 7. So this math.floor, basically it's going to, whatever number you have, if you have 9.9999999, it's going to make it to be 9. Okay, so like this, and you can take a look in here if you want. But now I will go to the Adobe Animate, and I'm going to one more time right click and choose actions, and I can for example type something like console.log, and I'm going to console.log math.random and parentheses, and I will have to make it like so. So this console.log have one parenthesis and another, and then we have this math.random, and this is like when you are calling a function. So something like this, and make sure that this M at the beginning is capital. You cannot write it like so, it has to be capital, and the semicolons are optional. So right now if I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and I'm going to hit F12 to see this, to see the console, the developer tools, or you can in the Google Chrome right click and choose inspect. You will get the console, and in here is going to be some random number. And if I'm going to refresh the page, the random number is going to change, and so on. And by default, this number is going to be between 0 and 1, and it's never going to be 1. And it's never going to be exactly 0, it's going to be something in between. 0 point something, or you are going to get 0.8, but you are not going to get like this 1.2 or something like that. Okay, so we have it like so. Now I can go back to the Adobe Animate, and I'm going to click F9 to get to the code, or just right click and choose actions, and I can put this math.random to some variable. So I'm going to type let. You can also type var if you want, but let is like the new version of the JavaScript. So let my number, but this name of the variable is optional. You can choose whatever name, and I'm going to set that let my number is going to be equal, and for now I'm going to copy this, Ctrl C, and I'm going to paste it in here, Ctrl V. So I just created a variable, and I assigned to that variable some random number. And right now let me write this console.log one more time. So we have a variable with this math.random, and I'm going to type console.log, and I'm going to console.log my number. And this basically is going to do the same thing as we had before. So it is going to just generate me random number. You can see that right now it's 0.9 something, but it cannot be more than 1. And like so. Now, if you want this to be bigger than 1, what you can do is you can type math.random, and in here I can type something like times 10, for example. And as I said, the semicolons are optional. And right now, if I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter and I'm going to hit F12, we are going to have a bigger number. Okay, I will go back to the Adobe Animate because I would like to show you this in a different way. So I can make it like so, time 10, or I can also do the same thing like so. I'm going to delete it, and in the console.log I'm going to have my number, and I'm going to have it times 10. So this is basically going to do the same thing. And I want you to see this because I will go back to the code, and I'm going to duplicate this console.log. So I'm going to hit Ctrl D, and in here in the first console.log I'm going to delete this times 10, and in the second I'm going to leave it. So Ctrl Enter, F12. And you can see that if my number, the first one is, which is going to be always between 0 and 1, when it's going to be 0.46 and something, the number which is going to be times 10 is going to be 4 point something. I will generate one more time, I will refresh, and right now I have 0.8, so it is going to convert to 8, and so on. And like this, when you are, for example, when I use number 10, I will never get in here in the bottom number 10, because if my top number generated is going to be 0.999 something, this number is going to be 9.999 something. You know, the basic math. You would have to have this number to be 1 in order to this to be 10. Okay, and at the same time, if I am going to have something like 0.0000 something, and then I am going to multiply it by 10, I am going to get 0 point something. Okay, I will try to refresh it until I will get in here 0, and until I will get in here 9. So I will refresh. I have 4, I have 5, I have 7. Oh, okay, I was doing this too quickly. You can see in here that I have 0.98. and it is going to convert to 9.8. And the same thing, right now we have this 0.1 something, and it is 1 point something, but if this was 0.01, this would be 0. Okay, but let me, okay, in here, for example, you have 0.09, and it is going to convert to 0 point something. And now, what I want to do with this. There is this, as I said at the beginning, this math.floor, and you can see that in here the math is also with the capital M, and you can see that we have this math.floor parentheses, and inside of this parentheses we have this math.random, and then multiply by 11, and in here that this is going to generate a number from 0 to 10. So let's go to the Adobe Animate, and let's see this. But for now, I'm not going to do it like so. So I'm going to comment out this console.logs, and I'm going to put it in here. So let my number is going to be math.floor, and I can create some kind of space. So math.floor and a parenthesis. And inside of this parenthesis, I am going to have this math.random, but I can write it. So I'm going to type math.random and parenthesis like so. But I will have to do it like this. And let me delete this like so. So hopefully I'm not doing this in some confusing way, but we have this math.floor, which have these parentheses in here, and then inside of that we have this math.random like so. And if I'm going to have this like so, and I'm going to console.log my number, my number is always going to be 0 this way, because I'm going to hit Control Enter and I'm going to hit F12 and it is going to be 0. I will refresh, it will be 0 and it will be 0 forever, because as I said, this math.floor, what's going to happen that if you have whatever number, if you have 9.8, 9.9, 9.99999, it's going to convert it to the 9. Okay, and when we have this math.floor, as I said, it's putting the number down, and math.random is generating me number between 0 and 1, and even though if I'm going to have in here 0.99999, this method is going to convert it to the 0. So what we can do in here is we can type that it is going to be multiplied by 10, and this means that my random number, which is going to be 0 point something, is going to be multiplied by 10. And we have talked that if I'm going to have this random number to be 0.99, it will be 9 something. And if I'm going to have this 0.000, it's going to be 0 point something. And this math.floor is going to put number which is going to be 0 point something to 0, and number which is going to be 9 point something to 9. So by this way, math.floor, math.random times 10, we are generating random number which is going to be between 0 and 9. It will never be 10 this way, because I don't want to repeat myself many times, but I want this to be clear. If you are going to have 0.999999999 times 10, it won't be 10. It will be 9 something, and math.floor will put it to the 9. So I will hit Control Enter. I will hit F12, and yeah, right now it's 6, right now it's 2, and I will see, I will just show you until we will get to the 9. Okay, so this is the highest number that we can get, and 0, if I'm going to get it, maybe not. It seems that I'm not lucky with these numbers, but eventually I should have the 0, yeah, and it is in here. So if right now it's like if I'm going to put the if I want to have random numbers between 0 and 5, that will mean that I am going to put in here 6, for example. If I want to have random numbers between 0 and 8, then I am going to put a 9. Okay. But what if you want to have random numbers not from 0, but you want to have random numbers from 1? Okay, imagine that we want to have a random number from 1 to 10. Okay, so as I said, if I'm going to put this times 10, it is going to be between 0 and 9. And what I can do is in here, I can type plus 1, for example, like so, and it will be, as I said, 0 between 0 and 9, and this plus 1 will, if it's 0, add 1, so it will be 1, and if it's 9, it will be 10. So Control Enter, F12, and on the first we have the 10, and like so. So I will go back in here like so, and now how could we use something like this in Adobe Animate? So for example, right now I can go ahead and create some kind of graphics. So I'm going to get the shape tool, and I'm going to get some kind of fill color, and I'm going to create a shape like this, and I'm going to convert this shape to the symbol. So I'm going to select it like so, and I will go to the modify, convert to symbol, and I can call this to be blue shape, for example, but this name has nothing to do with JavaScript. I will click OK, and there is this movie clip. Right now, when I converted it to the movie clip, an instance name, and I can call this to be blue1, for example, like so. And now I'm going to duplicate this few times. So I'm going to select it, and with Alt or Option on the Mac, I'm going to duplicate it. You can hold Shift to stay on the same line, and I will duplicate it like so, and right now I will duplicate it, I will select all of them and duplicate it like so. So we are going to have the 6 copies of the same thing. And now this was blue 1, so I'm going to click on the second one, and I'm going to change the name to be blue 2. This one is going to be blue number 3, and so on. There is also possibility to use the code to get things directly from the library. I made tutorials about that, but for now we are not going to be worried about that. So this is blue 4, this one is going to be blue 5, and the last one is going to be blue 6. Okay, and we are going to generate a random number, and then we are going to use the random number to hide one of these shapes, and later on we are going to create the random number to add even listener to one of these shapes. Now, one thing that I don't like much is that right now I have all of this in the layer 1, my code and my shapes. So what I can do is I can click on this layer 1, and I can right click and I can choose distribute to layers. So right now my layer 1 contains only the code, and the rest is like so. And if I want, because I do not need to have them on the separated layers, I can select them, I can right click, and I can choose merge layers. But that's something which doesn't matter right now. And now what I can do is I can create some kind of array of these shapes, and then use the random number. So I'm going to type let, and I will call it my shapes, for example, is going to be equal these brackets, and I will type this dot blue 1, like so, comma, and now I'm going to copy this, Control C, this blue 2, comma, this blue 3, comma, this blue, and I will have to move a little bit in here, blue 4, comma, this blue 5, comma, and this blue 6. And after the last one, I don't want to have a comma in here, because this would create an error. So the last one is not without the comma, and semicolon, like so. So basically we have an array. And in this array we have, I will just make sure that I have this correctly, but we have this blue 1, comma, blue 2, blue 3, blue 4, blue 5, and blue 6. And now if I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, nothing is going to happen. We are just going to have some generated random number. And if I would like to right now, but hopefully you have at least little knowledge about arrays, but if not, I will try to explain very quickly. But the first element of the array has index 0. This one has index 1, and the last one has index number 5. So blue shape has index 5, and blue 6 has index 5, and this blue 1 has index 0. And what I could do right now is I can type my shapes, these brackets, and I can type, for example, 0, which is the first element, and I can type dot visible is going to be false, for example. And I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and the first one is going to disappear. And this way, if I'm going to type number 1, the second one is going to disappear, and if I'm going to write the number 5, the last one should disappear, like so. And now we can see that we have the array, and we want to hide something, and we want to hide from number 0 up to number 5. Okay, I already said these indexes, so I hope that it makes sense. So I'm going to generate a random number, which is going to be between 0 and 5. So first of all, I'm going to get rid of this +1, and I'm going to write in here time 6, because as we were talking, if the number is going to be 0.00000 times 6, it's still going to be 0 point something, and math floor is going to put it to 0. And if this is going to be 0.99999 times 6 is going to be 5.999 something, and the math floor is going to put it to 5. So this is going to generate me the random number between 0 and 5. And now what I can do is instead of my shapes number 5, I can just get this number, Control C, and I'm going to paste it in here, Control V. And right now if I'm going to hit Control Enter, and I'm going to hit F12, you can see that my generated number is number 2, and you know, this is number 0, this is number 1, this is number 2. I will refresh this, and now number 3 is this one, and like so. And now, for example, what I could do is I will hit F9, and I'm not going to hide this object for now. I am just going to change its alpha. So I'm going to type that the alpha is going to be 0.5. And the alpha is opacity, and number 1 is like 100% opacity, 0 is 0 opacity, 0.5 means 50% opacity. So like so, and you can see that right now I can hit F12, this is number 4, and so on. And you should, if I'm going to refresh, and let me do this one more time. In here, you should know by looking in here which number we have generated. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2. So this should be number 3. So now what I could do is I'm going to hit F9, and I'm going to put an even listener, for example, on this generated number. So I can just very simply type my shapes and this my number, and I can type dot, and I can either go with add the event listener. Okay, this is the one way to add event listener, but you have to write it like this: add the capital E event capital L listener, or you can just type on. It is going to do the same thing, so it depends on you. I will go right now with on, and I'm going to put in the parentheses that I want to be on click, and I want to then comma, and then the function that we are going to call. So for example, height object, and I will have to write something like bind this. And this bind this, basically, I have to explain it in all of the tutorials, but it allows me to write the word this inside of the functions. So basically right now we have this my shapes, my number, which is going to be randomly generated, and we have like even listener on click, and we want to call the function. This name is arbitrary, you can choose whatever name, and we have this bind this to be able to write the word this like we have, for example, in here inside of the functions. So I am going to copy this, and I'm going to type function hide objects, and in here what I can do is, for example, I can make this my shapes my number, and I can type visible is going to be false, like so. And if I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and I will click on this one, it will disappear. I will refresh, and if I'm okay, I will try to get another number, and I will click on this one, it will disappear. So I don't want to overcomplicate it. So in this case, I can get rid of this bind this like so, because we didn't exactly write the word this in here. So it is going to be working even without that. So like so. And we still have this generated number, but I'm just used to go with bind this when I want to put something in the functions. But yeah, this is it. It wasn't like a very quick tutorial. Maybe I will just create the 1 minute tutorial about this also, but this was just a little introduction. And there is a lot more. For example, if you want to generate more numbers, for example, imagine that right now we would like to generate 5 random numbers, but we want all of the numbers to be different. And that's not that easy to create as you may think, for example. Okay, so this is it. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, hit the like, and yeah. If you are going to watch this the first day that I upload, there probably won't be any link, but later on, if I'm going to create some more advanced tutorial about this topic, I'm going to provide a link in the description. So thank you, have a nice day, goodbye.